Every single time I make a video about women, some really stupid people start commenting things like, this video is pointless. If you are brown and you're below 5'9", you can't get girls. I hear these statements all the time, and honestly, I think this might be one of the dumbest ideas that we've ever come up with. If you've ever felt like you are limited by the fact that you're brown or by the fact that you're a certain height when it comes to females, by the end of this video, I'm going to change your mind. The other day, I woke up at 11 a.m. and I was told that I had to go into a speaking club, like go and motivate some students to learn English, basically. I didn't know that I had someone sign me up. My mom signed me up to this, like without even me knowing, and she calls me and tells me to go there. Drop everything and wake up, like I put on the most random clothes I find, to just run to the speaking club. Luckily, it just happened to be like down the road. I go in, there is a room of maybe 12 or 13 people. And the guy there, like the teacher, tells me, come on board, start talking. Just imagine that you just woke up like 5 minutes ago, and now you're standing in front of a whole class and you have to start talking. The younger me would have died in this position. I would have gotten really awkward. I would have like embarrassed the hell out of myself. Since then, I've been studying charisma, attraction, like body language. So something just clicked at that moment. I decided to change the way I was breathing, my posture, my eyes. Like I started producing some positive thoughts in my mind. And I just started randomly talking. I think the first thing I said was, when you start speaking in English, it's not just your career that changes, it's your mind. Speaking a different language restructures the way your brain is wired. And when I said that, the entire room's eyes went from being distracted to just locked into what I was saying. In a minute, I will explain to you what that is. At the end of the lesson, everyone there was super pumped up and motivated. They were like, this is the craziest experience I've ever had. And there were two fairly attractive hijabi girls in there. They were around my age. There were some other ones, but they were 12 and 10. Before I was leaving, I promise I'm not making this up. Oh, look here. One of them asks me for my Instagram. Give it to her, whatever. Another one sees that and she runs someone's oh, can I have your Instagram as well? Give her my Instagram. When I get home, both of those girls liked pretty much all my posts on Instagram. And everybody who watched that presentation, they were all really pumped up to come back to our class. What do you think worked for me? It was all charisma. I didn't know I don't even speak English that well. My English literature, when it comes to grammar and all these small nuances they have, I'm really bad at all of that. I don't know anything. But just by having charisma, I was able to inspire those people more than they've ever been inspired when they went to that class. There are a couple things that happened here that I will break down in this video. The first thing I did, see if you can catch it, is the first thing I said when I went into the room. I started talking about subjective things, almost superficial, but also really motivating, outside the box. Everyone who was listening to me was from the Muslim demographic. And what do you think is the thing that excites Muslims the most, especially the girls? It's the ability to speak outside the box, speak about things that you can't see but are out there, that you feel. They've lacked that sort of attention their whole life. Every generation of women will always be attracted to what they lacked in their childhood. So your mom, maybe if she's from a Muslim descent, she would have been extremely attracted to a man who can provide, a man who can put his feelings aside, forget about feelings, and just go on and grind to bring food home, because food was such a big scarcity in her life. So a man who can gather resources was super attractive to the older generation. Do you think we lack that? Think about everyone you know who grew up in our demographic, like who are in their like 20s now, or the 18 or like 25. They never lacked like the resources. Worst case scenario, they could have just went and got like a government payment if they lived in the West. Like if they're from the Muslim country, it might be a little bit different, but when they come to the West, that all changes anyway. So what do you think they lacked? They lacked compassion. They lacked emotional understanding. When you are on an individual level with a Muslim girl, if you start talking about emotions, like personality, say, I want to know about your personality, would you say you are open-minded or closed-minded? Do you feel sad in this situation or do you feel sad in this situation? When you start getting like below the surface level of talking, you'd be surprised how much attraction you'll gain. It'll be instant. Like Muslim women's eyes literally lit up when you start talking about these things. I want to give a quick disclaimer today. None of these tips work if you just want to, let's say, hook up with a woman. If that's what you thought, then click off this video right now. This is not the video for you. I'm sorry I wasted your time. It won't work if you are into masculine women. Not even masculine, if you're into confident, outspoken women that speak loudly, none of this is gonna work. They're not gonna care about none of that. Now, what I just went through was just like 0.5% of what I learned throughout my 8 years of practice, of reading, of practicing. I made this course a huge lesson on how everything I've learned condensed into maybe like 1 week worth of learning. If that's something that you're interested in, I'll put a link down below. Good luck, and if you haven't done your prayer yet, go do it right now, inshallah.